Welcome back to the Driven Podcast. Today, our guest is Sasha Stapleton. She is the powerhouse behind Digital Phoenix SEO. Her journey is nothing short of extraordinary. She rose from an incredible personal hardship to rebuild her life and business from the ground up. Not only has she built successful companies across different industries, but she's also cracked the code on how businesses from home service providers to real estate agents can use SEO to grow without being at the mercy of those ever-rising ad costs. In this episode, we'll uncover Sasha's secrets of SEO, from practical strategies you can apply today with Google My Business to the longer game of building authority and consistency online. Grab your notebook, because I think this conversation is about to give you the roadmap for turning visibility into credibility and credibility into clients. Today's episode is sponsored by Driven Relationships, where business growth starts with genuine human connection. At Driven, we believe loyalty and referrals don't come from transactions, they come from trust. If you are ready to build lasting client relationships and stand out in a noisy digital world, visit drivenrelationships.com. Hey, Sasha, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Kelly.
Yes, so you're in sunny Southwest Florida, right?
Yeah, we're in Sarasota, so pretty beaches, white sand, blue seas.
The accent is not Southwest Florida, though. So where are you originally from?
So I grew up in England, spent a lot of time in Germany. My mum's side of the family was German. So I speak pretty good German, pretty good French, some Latin, trying to learn some other languages. So 8 is my target, but we'll get there.
Oh, that's impressive and very lofty goal, but if anybody can do it, it's you. You can do it all. So tell me about your company. It's called Digital Phoenix SEO Marketing. Is that correct?
Just SEO. So
Okay.
it kind of started as marketing. So I got divorced, and before I got divorced, my background, so I'd worked in banking for a long time. Then I'd ended up in engineering. I designed and tested cars for Jaguar Land Rover, like built factories around the world, had amazing experiences, and then was a stay-at-home mom. We moved to the States, and I was like, what do I do in my life? So I ended up building a YouTube channel, a subscription box, an e-commerce store, all through organic traffic. So I was doing SEO. I guess at the time didn't know it was necessarily called SEO. And I've been doing it for years. Like I've worked out, I started my first website 25 years ago.
Oh my
So I've
gosh.
been doing it
Okay.
all this time, but I'd never like realized it's called SEO. And then, later down the line when the store was getting bigger, I realized it was SEO. And I met some amazing people through the ClickFunnels community. And then I got divorced and I lost the company. And so I was like, okay, what am I good at? Well, I can do digital marketing. I can build a YouTube channel. I built Facebook pages. I did it all organically. And then we moved to ads later on. And like, okay, so I'll do this. So that's how it started, was I needed something to pay the bills, to make an income and be there for my kids. So I
Mhm.
started doing the things and I realized I hate social media. Like, yes, I know how to grow Facebook, I know how to grow Instagram, but I honestly don't have a passion for it. But I love SEO on websites. And so I really like dug into that. A good friend of mine, Damon Burton, launched his SEO certification probably nearly a year ago now. And I was one of the first certified students he had. And that's how the SEO side was born. So I decided to do the whole, no niche is too small, make a niche, only you can fit in it. And that's kind of what I did with Digital Phoenix, was find what I love to do and build something out of it.
Impressive. What was that like when you lost everything you'd built the first time?
Devastating. I
Okay.
don't know if no devastating is enough. Like, I mean, I didn't know what to do with my life. It sent me into a terrible spiral. I went through domestic violence. He was a narcissist. Like, I went through all of that. And mentally, I would say it's probably only in the last year I've got it together. And this happened 3 years ago. And I
Okay.
went through everything of, I'd never dated anyone, like just learning, okay, now I've got to learn to date and now I've got to pay bills and like
Yeah.
all of these life skills that you don't realize because we've been together for 13 years and originally was my high school sweetheart. So it was like all these things. And it sent me to the point of like, I tried to commit suicide. I worked
Oh,
for a guy who was up to some shady things and I ended up in jail for 10 days. And like, all of this is part of the story, but it's made me who I am. And that's why I like Phoenix, because it literally was the ashes. Like there was nothing left.
oh my gosh. I mean, that I can't even imagine. Was your daughter a part of this too? I mean, I think because it's one thing to have yourself to go through that and to protect your own, like just going through the trauma of all of the different things that happened. And then you are responsible for a little life.
Yeah, so I have two. My
Oh, you
eldest
have
is
two.
18.
Okay.
Yeah, so my eldest is 18 and she saw obviously a different side to my youngest. She just turned 10 at the weekend. So, they kind of both saw different sides of this. And
Right.
the younger one, it's a lot easier to protect. The older one's aware and she knows and she sees. And
Hmm.
the younger one, I think she remembers and she knows everything and she says things to me. And, I don't know if we know how aware our kids are of some things sometimes. And then, but the older one saw it from the other side and she blames me and she has a lot of hurt and that's caused a lot of other issues and other things that have gone on and we have a very difficult relationship. So yeah, it's like I say, literally it was ashes. Like there was nothing. Like I didn't know
Hmm.
what to do at that point.
How were you able to heal during the, the past 3 years? How do you get out of the trauma? Because, I think sometimes we're in these situations where it's just, you need to get it stable. You need to stabilize because the trauma, it's just like so much. And that's probably like you getting away from your ex-husband was the first step in getting away from the like daily trauma. How do you heal then during that time? What are like actual steps you take to
I I don't know what the right steps were. I mean, I know my steps were wrong.
Okay.
I mean, for me, like, I went into that spiral and I thought I'd found a great guy and he was there
Mm,
and he supported me. And I made some really good friends in that time. I think they were important, people who have really stuck around. And
yeah.
I purposefully detached myself from all the friends I had before. Not that I had many, but
Hmm.
suddenly they all side with my ex-husband and I'm like, I don't want to have to play this sides game or know if you're on my side or
Right.
not on my side.
Right.
So I made like a very conscious like line and I'm like,
Okay.
I'm moving forward from here and this is my life.
Yeah.
Um, but I would say doing some therapy, which I didn't do until obviously it was way too late. Having a friends and a good support network. I don't have any family in America. I
Yeah.
don't have any
Okay.
family left. Um, so that if you've got family, lean on them and then it's just like baby steps and sometimes it's one step forward, two steps back, sometimes
Mm,
it's two steps forward, one back, but just trying to you just have to keep going and
right.
I guess not give up because I tried giving up and that didn't work either, so that's
Well, I'm
definitely
glad. I'm glad you didn't give up. Um, the conversation I have with a lot of people who are in whatever kind of trauma or dark, dire situations, what I have heard is the way to survive is to keep moving, one foot in front of the other, whether you're or keep crawling,
hmm
just get out of bed, keep moving. So good for you. And not only did you keep moving, but you've created something beautiful and you've really risen from the ashes. So, what are some of the good things that you have going on right now that you're excited about? What's the day-to-day excitement for you?
So for me, I have lots of kind of irons in the fire, I guess. So,
Okay.
I have Digital Phoenix. That's my main job. That's what I do day to day. And I love it. And I
Mhm.
love seeing the progress we make and that the progress is visible and it's creative as much as it is data and technical, which I love.
Mhm.
I relaunched my YouTube channel and my e-commerce store. So, I love because I'm really creative. I'm really crafty. I can't draw to save my life, but I'm the Pinterest one. I can make
Okay.
anything. I made all the stuff for my daughter's birthday party. I made her cake, all that stuff. So I make art products, like supplies for scrapbooking, card making, and things like that. And then I teach on my YouTube channel and I sell them. And then I have an air duct cleaning
Can
company.
we just back up? Hang on, before you move to air duct.
Yeah.
And so you put together like boxes, creative boxes.
So I make stamps. Literally, I have a class tonight. I'm sitting here. So this is a stamp set that we design,
Okay. Okay.
and I will teach people how to use it. And then people can buy all the supplies from me. We have glues and we have inks and we have stamps and papers and you name it, we've got it.
But you teach it through your YouTube channel.
Right.
So is it live? Like, is that class live and then it's
Everything is live and I make mistakes and I screw things up and I'm like, okay, I made a mistake and this is how we're going to fix it. And so many people do like the pre-recorded and edit out the mistakes. I'm like, well, yeah, but I do this like, I guess professionally and I still make mistakes. So why don't I just show you I made a mistake and we're going to fix it, or we can't fix it and it goes in the trash and we start again. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I love it. I think that's so real. And I think it allows you as a business owner or as a creative person to ship things and to not get bogged down by the details. Because if everything had to be perfect, we would never publish anything.
right.
For me, like I've been doing a podcast for maybe 2 months now, and I have maybe 15 episodes, and I've only edited one. I just ship it. It
Yeah,
goes.
that's it.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think we get frozen by indecision. It's why a lot of people hire me. It's why people hire you because they're maybe not good at what they do. Like what I do is marketing for people. I keep them connected to their database. I send text messages, emails, handwritten cards, gifts. People get frozen in deciding like, oh, is this a good email to send? We take that pressure off of them. You know what? We're gonna just send it. Don't stress it. Okay, I love it. So, who comes to these classes? Is it mostly females?
Yeah, I would say it's majority women,
Okay.
probably 45, 50 plus is the majority based on our demographics.
Okay.
I'm trying to draw in younger people and be like, this is a fun, cool thing to do.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, so we do all of that. We do special events like I have every October. We do Inktober. We do retreats through Zooms. We do virtual classes. We do all sorts of stuff like
I love it. I can't wait to check it out. I've never even looked at your YouTube channel, so I'm
that.
excited. Do you help other people do that as well? I know you help them with their SEO and their websites. Have you ever consulted someone on doing a YouTube channel and with an e-commerce site? Have you ever consulted on that?
I used to when I had my company, because I mean, we were selling our products on HSN and I was selling it on UK Shopping TV. And I was traveling the world teaching and showing my products and selling products and doing trade shows and all the things. So back then I used to consult, and I actually used to consult for big venture capitalists who were
Okay.
investing in companies like Cricket and things like that and helping them with market research
Mhm.
and trying to enter the craft space. And I worked with like Michael's Corporate and I did all these kinds of things, but on a one-to-one level, not really. I mean, I've helped friends and said, go do
Okay.
this, do that, whatever.
Okay.
With our clients, we make sure they have a YouTube presence because it's owned by Google and it indexes and they can rank in different ways. So part of our SEO strategy leverages what I know about YouTube.
Okay. So you're telling me I need to have a YouTube channel.
Mhm.
So what would you recommend I put on a YouTube channel? Like this sort of thing? So instead
So I
of
would
just putting
yeah,
this
I
on
would put the
Spotify?
podcast,
Okay.
um, because Google's going to index and it's going to look at the captions and it's going to index all of that content. And then you give it the tags, and the descriptions and things like that. And then
Okay.
you embed that video into your website with Google's love language, which is called schema. And you can put the transcript of the podcast in there and then tell Google, this is this. And it kind of like creates this root network and it all joins together. So yes, and like blog posts will convert them. There's software that can let you convert a blog post into a video, and then we put that into Google, into YouTube, and embed it in the blog post, and it just helps you rank over and over and over.
Okay. So I'm not shy about making content. I think I just need to repurpose a lot of the content I've created and do it in the right way. I have a question for you. If someone has a website, like this is what I'm thinking of doing right now. I'm thinking of doing kellybohm.com because I own it. I've just never really done anything with it. And that is where I was thinking of putting podcasts. But I'd like my company to get more exposure. Would you recommend just having one website that has it all?
Yeah, so it's easier to rank one good website than ranking
Okay.
multiple websites. And that's the thing we always come across when people want to change. If they make sense to be together. So, you have Driven and your clients that you're interviewing on your podcast. So it makes sense to be like, here's my clients, I'm telling their story, and it's part of the Driven family. So you might
Okay.
call it something else, but you can say, powered by Driven or something like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So I would keep it in the same website and use it as an SEO tool to boost the visibility for your services.
Okay. That's great. I'm sure other people have that same question. Okay. So let's chat a little bit about the air duct company too, in all your free time.
Right.
Who runs
So yeah,
that? What does that look like?
So I have an air duct cleaning company. I've had it now for a few years.
Okay.
It's kind of a crazy story how I got into it, but that kind of also ignited the SEO because once I had the SEO going for that, I can experiment. So everything we're doing, we're using our websites as an experiment to prove out, if something new comes out, we want to try something. And then I actually also have a home services concierge company, and I have a business partner in that. And so we connect homeowners with vetted, proven professionals. We can also do project management and things like that for snowbirds because we have that market
Yeah.
here. We'll do home watch, things like that. So we also have like that as like a little sideline, and that kind of grew out the air duct. And a friend of mine was interested in the same thing, and we want to do an app, and we have plans for that. But yeah,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
what I'm working on right now.
That's so fun. How do you manage your time? What's do you have any
I have
secrets?
no free time. That's the only way to manage it.
Do you live by your calendar? So for me, I can't even, it's a little embarrassing. I have some sheets. Like every day I have like a piece of paper. This is from like Monday, this is from Tuesday. At the end of the week, I'll kind of combine it. But if something has to get done for me, it goes on my calendar. So I look at these things and I'm like, okay, I got to put that on my calendar, even if it's like I just need to think through it. Do you have a checklist? Do you use paper? Do you use digital? What do you
I'm
do?
a paper girl. So I have a whiteboard in my office. So that's
Okay.
like when I think of something, I'll put it on there. But I have a notebook right here and I write down my list. And as I think of things, I'll write them down. But I'm not a big calendar person. I try to avoid meetings. I worked corporate and I had the whole death by meetings.
Mm,
Avoid
yeah.
a meeting as much as I physically can. I do free discovery calls and all those things, but I'm very much like I'd rather have a process that the need for a meeting doesn't ever come up with our clients. Like I'm always accessible, but I would
Mhm.
say the amount of our clients who say, let's have a meeting,
Mm,
very, very few. So we try to be pretty proactive and make sure everything just is pretty autonomous. I
mm.
do a lot of networking events. That's probably my
Okay.
biggest time suck. But I drive my daughter a long way to school. So when the days I have her, I come home, I have a coffee, I read my book, or I'll get up in the morning, have a coffee, read my book. That's how I start my day. I will
Okay.
do like some study book. I read a chapter in my study book, and then I'll read something, either fiction, nonfiction, whatever I happen to be reading for fun.
Okay.
Then I start my day.
Okay.
And if I don't do that first, I live in this state of anxiety, whereas that for me is like my
Hmm.
wind down time. And then
Hmm.
other than that, it's about networking, getting my things done, pick my daughter up from school, have
Hmm.
dinner, do some work, go to bed, rinse, repeat. That's my
Yeah.
day.
Do you have a team that works for you that gets the work done?
So I have a team offshore who do a lot of the technical work. And I actually have one girl, she's here right now. She's packaging orders, but she's like my go-to girl. Like whatever I need, she's here and she helps me, on site, whether it's packaging, whether we need to get copy done and she'll review. Like that's the way I try to do it.
Mhm. It's nice to have someone that can help you with everything. Does she help you with personal things too? Like, hey,
Not
I need, okay,
just-
just the business stuff.
But we're really good friends. So she knows me and she kind of can see when I'm also getting to that, like, and she'll be like, okay, what do we need to do first? And
Hmm.
kind of
Hmm.
go that way. So
It's so good to have that because sometimes you just need someone to like, hey, I've got you. I've got your back. Or you need someone just to help you think through something.
mhm,
Like I
exactly.
think just having a sounding board is really nice.
Yeah.
My habits in the morning is I do a Bible reading, I pray, I walk with my neighbor, and I work out sometimes middle of the day or I work out after work because it helps me to unwind. And sometimes
Mhm.
middle of the day is really good because I get away from my desk and I can get some of my crazy out and maybe I can think. I do hot Pilates too, so it's a quiet room. It's a lot of thought.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's helpful to me, but I think it's so good to have a routine to help
Oh,
you.
yeah. You have to like when I get derailed from that routine, my
Mhm.
life goes into chaos.
Yeah.
And so, I notice the difference between when I'm good with my routine and I'm not. Like over the summer, I got out my routine and it was chaos until I was like,
Yeah.
okay, like a month in, I'm like, we're not doing this. We're gonna go back to the routine. And even made my
Yeah.
daughter do it. Like we got up, we ate breakfast, we read a book. And I'm like, this is how we start our day. And I got her in
Yeah.
that habit. And then now we do it after dinner because she has to read for school. So we'll do the same thing. We have dinner, we read for 30 minutes, and then we do our evening, whatever.
Mm. It's so good to teach our kids to have that routine, especially in this digital world where it's so easy just to be on our devices.
Right.
I need to be better in my own home of having everyone like just put your devices away when you get home. Like take some time, catch up on what you need to catch up on, but then put them away and connect as a family, read something, do something that's not on your phone.
Right. We're the same. Like at the weekend we play Scrabble or we'll
Oh,
buy an art kit and we both buy the same kit and we'll do it sitting her and I together. So like I try to always do something like that
I
because
love that.
she'd love to be on her phone the whole time and she has an iMac and she has a MacBook and she has a tablet and we have all these things in the house because I have them for work and I'm
Mm-hmm,
like, yeah, we're just gonna have some none of that time.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, good. It's brilliant. So I'd like to dig into the SEO a little bit more. So how do you audit someone's online presence? What do you do when you start working with someone? What's the first step?
So as long as I've been doing this, there's been four things Google cares about. So whether, we've got AI that kind of like has interrupted things now and people are kind of obsessed and we want to make sure that we're not only ranking for Google searches, but ChatGPT or,
Mm-hmm,
AI searches because we've seen that in the air duct side, the amount of people now who find us through asking ChatGPT who does
mm-hmm,
air duct cleaning or who does this specific thing. So we're
mm-hmm,
having to make sure people rank for that. So, but really all Google cares about is the structure of your website. Is it technically sound? We'll look at Google has a love language, as I said earlier, schema. Do you have that? How quickly does your site load? We'll go and look at some of the kind of technical stuff. So we want to make sure you have a solid foundation. Then
mm-hmm,
we'll look at your content. And when we say looking at your content, we're looking, does it clearly communicate to Google as well as the end user what your product, service, or value proposition is?
mm-hmm,
Because, Google's biggest recent update was useful content update because people were putting out AI content that's not useful. Because AI is just building stuff from the rest of the internet. That's all it is basically a search engine. So you need to add value and add usefulness with your content. Then we'll look at your online credibility. Who's talking about you? Where are you linked? Where are you featured? Have you won awards? Making sure all of those things are in place. And then we will look at consistency. So are you consistently making sure your website's up to date? Are you putting out blog posts? Not because you or I are likely to read those blog posts as the consumers, but Google and AI are reading those blog posts. So if
okay.
you're adding value and you're helping Google answer those questions, those AI snippets that you see at the top of Google or your ChatGPT searches, that's how you rank in those things. And by consistently posting useful content,
Mm-hmm,
Google will prioritize your content. So really it's just those four things. And people get hung up on, I see people put out lists like 100 things you need to do. And, Google business profiles. Yes, there's 116 ranking factors that we know of. There's probably many, many more that we don't. And people
mm-hmm,
get so hung up on those. But it's like if you do these four things well, everything
mm-hmm.
else will fall into place.
Okay. What companies do well with SEO optimization? What companies does it not matter for? Or what businesses or industries? Is it important for everyone, or is there some that it's more important than others?
I mean, if you want to be found online, you need to
Mhm.
do SEO. So whether
Okay.
you are a celebrity that wants to be found, you have a product you want to sell, you have a service, you are trying to educate people, no matter what it is, you need Google to find your content. If Google can't find it, the rest of the world is not going to find it because that's where we all get content from.
Mhm.
I think the most value comes from we specialize in home services and local
Right.
business. That's our specialty, and that's what I love. And having a a couple of them now, home services companies and things like that, we really excel in that arena because we understand how to reach those people.
Mhm.
We also do a lot of Shopify and e-commerce because Shopify has some inbuilt SEO, but it's not great. You still,
Okay.
there's a lot of technical work you have to do in the background. So we do a fair amount of e-commerce, but our kind of bread and butter is in like the local services,
Mhm.
local businesses, lawyers, real estate agents, and those kinds of things, and trying to find them ways to get the most bang for their buck. Because the other thing people don't realize is if you want to run a Facebook ad or a Google ad, Zuckerberg and Google are assigning you a quality score to the website you're sending those people to. And if your quality score is low, they front load your ad costs because they know you're not going to convert. They're not going to get the volume and the money from the ads. So they'll suck the money out in the beginning and you'll get a terrible ROI on your ads. If you have good SEO, you can lower your ad costs by 40 to 60%. Like it's huge. People don't realize the value SEO. When people be like, oh, I pay for my traffic, I don't need SEO. I'm like, well, actually, your traffic could be a lot cheaper just by improving.
Mhm. Mhm. What's the average ad spend? And I don't know if you do ads for Facebook and Google, or if you're just focused on the SEO, and maybe I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. But what is the average ad spend on those, on for companies? Like what's
It's, I would say it very, I mean, we don't run ads. We have partners we would refer people
okay.
to that we come
Okay.
to ads. I mean, we run ads in our own business on the
Okay.
ed side occasionally, but
Okay.
there are other ways, and this is something I always try and get people to realize. There's also something called Google Guaranteed, or they call it, I think, local services ads now. So it gives you like this green check mark, and it's a really cost-effective way if you're a local business. And you can do it for, I think there's like 60 different industries, like real estate agents, hairdressers, estheticians, plumbers, all these things. They can basically get really good, high quality, high intent leads at a great price and appear at the top of Google without paying for it. And you only pay when someone either sends you a message or gives a phone call. So they've already got that buyer intent and you're not paying per click or just to appear on some search listing.
Okay.
So we try to get people to do those kinds of things before we say, okay, let's run Google ads or let's run
Okay.
ads.
Yeah, I have a couple clients, they've just completely gotten away from ads and they just focus on their SEO.
Mhm.
And part of that too is getting reviews. Talk to me about getting Google reviews.
Consistency on Google reviews, but Google also got smart to people focusing on Google reviews. So now they care about your Facebook, your Yelp, your Nextdoor, all of those reviews. So now if you Google someone and you come up with their Google business page, you'll see on the side it says reviews from around the web and it will pull in their Facebook and these things. So they're now making you get reviews elsewhere. But when you
Okay.
get a review, you want them to mention the service specifically that they had. So say it was a plumbing service in
Okay.
Sarasota, my pipes burst and Jay came and fixed it or whatever it happens to be. And if they can add a photo, that's huge
Okay.
value. So you want them to mention the service, the location, and add a photo. And then when you reply, you say, thank you so much for letting us assist you with your burst pipes in Sarasota. We're so glad we could assist you as local plumbers. We aim for the best customer service. So you want to think about keywords in your response as much as you want them to put keywords in their review. And both of those things count.
This is amazing. So when people hire driven relationships, we manage their Google My Business. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not an expert in it at all. We ask for reviews because we know that people are searching for that. And then we can reply for the client. But I love what you just mentioned.
Yeah.
It's no, don't just say thank you so much for your kind review. Like,
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much for allowing me to sell your home in Arcadia, is what
Right.
we need to be saying, something very specific.
Yes.
Is it important that you mentioned saying someone's name? Is that important? Should they mention someone by name, a service provider or a real
No,
estate agent's
what's
name,
more
or no?
important is the service and the location. So, or
Service
whatever
and location.
keyword you want to rank for. So, think about what your keywords are or what people are searching for.
Okay.
Another great easy win, not relying on Joe Public to leave you reviews, is Q&As. So there is a Q&A section in your Google business profile, and you
Okay.
don't have to have a customer ask the question. You can ask the question on your own profile and then go in and answer it. And you can
Okay.
put, I don't know, say it was air duct cleaning. So what's the best way that you clean air ducts in Sarasota? That could be your question. And then you'll be
Oh,
like,
okay.
you clean air ducts in Sarasota. This is the process. The reason behind this is we have mold in the air. Da, 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 da. We clean the blower. We clean your HVAC unit. So thinking of all the steps you take, the things that people might ask. And there's websites out there like answerthepublic.com. Put your service in and it will tell you what people are searching for. Like it literally
Okay.
gives you, these are the Google searches that have come up for that recently. And you can
And what is that? Where is that?
go answerthepublic.com.
Answerthepublic.com. Okay.
And so you can go in and there's your first like 15 Q&As that you can upload. And if you do two of those a week or a few every couple of weeks. Again, consistency is key, not just like I'm going to do it once and never go back to it. But if you consistently add those Q&As, you'll find there's a difference.
Do you do that for people, or do you just tell people to do that?
We do that for our
You do that
clients.
for people. Okay. Do you offer different packages of like, this is a starter, this is like we're all in, this is like monthly maintenance?
Yeah, so when you onboard with us, it depends if you're doing just Google My Business profile or if we're doing that combined with your website,
Okay.
or just your website. So we do an onboarding where we'll get everything structurally sound because there's no point us not making sure you have a good foundation. And
Mm-hmm.
then we'll have monthly packages just depending on, you know, how many platforms we're managing, but also how all in are you? Like how quickly do you want to grow through this? Or,
Mm-hmm.
are you just looking for maintenance or you just want to have a presence there, but it's not that important to you?
Okay. How important is it to spread out the posting? So I was on ChatGPT and asking a little bit about like we do listing searches. Like we can update people's listing
Hmm.
profile, not their SEO, but how they get listed and where they show up. So that everything, so like their hours are updated
Right.
across the board, their names are, their profile picture, like all these things that gets updated almost like the yellow pages, but like
Hmm.
online. Um, when I was researching it, it said to spread out when you say, like, we service these communities. So, like, 1 month, focus on the communities that you serve first. And then the next month, add additional areas that you service. Is it important to trickle out those updates so that you stay relevant? Is the trickling out of the updates really important?
As long as there is links. So for instance, we're in Manatee and Sarasota counties. So as long as I stick to talking about those, it doesn't matter whether I talk about Bradenton, Sarasota, in what order. If I suddenly wanted to add St. Pete or Tampa or whatever it happened to be, then I would kind of think about how I'm going to position that. Um,
Okay.
but those online citations you talked about, we call them NAPs, name, address, phone number. People don't realize how important they are because a confused Google will never serve you. And you might have CIR for circle in your address, but on another one it says circle. Google won't tie those two things together. So
Okay.
making sure that every name, address, phone number is formatted exactly the same across all your citations is so important.
Okay. Yeah, just making things clean and neat and tidy, just like we do in our homes or
Right.
on our desks. We like to make them clean, neat, and tidy. We need to do that with our online presence.
Yeah.
Um, so you think it's important for real estate agents? I have a lot of real estate agents as clients, loan officers as clients, and then a lot of home services. Obviously, the home services are, I think it's great to do. So you believe loan officers and real estate agents also need to be, this needs to be an important thing, the
Most
SEO.
definitely, because it's such a competitive market. There's so many real estate agents out there. There's so
Mhm.
many options when it comes to loans.
Mhm.
And we see the biggest success, particularly when we work with real estate agents, is finding their niche. Are you wanting to, where is your passion? Yes, you'll serve anyone, but is your passion in helping people who want to relocate to the state? Is it with people who want to have second homes and making
Mhm.
sure that they know how to manage that and they have a house manager or a property watch or whatever it happens to be?
Okay.
Or do you work with people who have been through a disaster and need to sell their home and they need something creative? Like finding what you're passionate about and talking about that, you'll draw in those clients. And people think that niches like is a bad thing, but there's actually a guy, Pedro Adeo, he teaches how to teach challenges. And his thing is make a niche so small only you fit into it because then you have no competition.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
whatever that is, and real estate agents like, yeah, but I want to help everyone. Yes, you do. But there's something you're passionate about. There's something you enjoy more than anything. Let's talk about that because you'll
Mhm.
draw those people in, and those people will be kind of, naturally attracted to you, and you will, in the same time, you'll end up pulling in other people as part of that.
I love that. That's so inspiring, even for my own business. I'm glad you said that. Um, how long does it take when someone's like, Sasha, I need to redo my website. I need help. How long does it take from like start to like we are launched and we're going?
So I would say 4 to 6 weeks is our average, unless
Okay.
it's something more complex or, you know, Something like that. So I would say 4 to 8 weeks is, kind of where we're looking at roughly.
Okay.
If it's just a technical tweak, we're going to be more on the 4. If we're rebuilding a whole website like we did for one of
Mhm.
your clients, you're looking at more like kind of the 8-week time frame to get
Okay.
everything up and running.
And then when do people start seeing when do they start hearing the phone ring or start seeing more inquiries? Because I don't think it happens overnight, not at the 8-week mark when it
No, so that's
launches.
the thing with SEO. SEO is slow. And the analogy I use, it's like if you want lemons, do you want to go to the store and buy lemons every time, which is your ads? So you're forever, you never have a constant stream. When you want a lemon, you have to go buy it. Or do you want to plant a lemon tree and you have lemons for the rest of your life, as long as you feed it, nurture it, and water it? So
Mhm.
SEO is the tree. Once you plant that, you're going to start seeing fruit. In the beginning, you'll see a quick uptake because suddenly Google sees, oh, there's good structure, there's good content, there's all those things. But getting from page 5 to page 1 might take you 6 to 9 months. We always say with SEO, you need to give it 12 months to really see the value in it. And then you'll
Mhm.
be like, oh, wow, now I'm on page 1. Now
Mhm.
I see the value
Mhm.
invested.
What happens if someone ends up on page one and then all of a sudden they aren't? You can make the tweaks to
So
get
we're
them back
monitoring
there.
our clients for their main keywords every single month. So their core keywords, whatever they happen to be, we get a report every month and we're looking at the changes. We're looking at what's going on. And I mean,
Okay.
typically we don't see that even with major updates because we keep those 4 things very structured and very
Okay.
organized. But if we do see something, maybe a new competitor's coming back, we'll go and look and we'll kind of figure out what we need to do and we'll put that in place for them.
I love it. It's so nice to have someone on your side who knows this stuff, who gets this stuff, who can get it done for you. I have a few people in mind that I'd love to connect you with, who I know are not doing any SEO optimization, who I think could be really huge benefit for them. Um, we do need to wrap things up. I wanted to ask you, what are you specifically reading right now for growth or for fun? I think you read like 4 books in a week or something.
I do. I just read all the Elie Wiesel, like his Holocaust series last week. But right now I'm reading Origin, Dan Brown Origin, because I want to read his new one, The Secret of Secrets. But I just finished Barista to Billionaire, and that
Oh,
was one of the best books I've ever read. I couldn't recommend that to people.
really?
Even Tilly,
I,
my 10-year-old, she's reading it. She's like, this is amazing. Yeah,
I
it's a
love
really
that.
good book. It's a billionaire story, like how he went from a coffee shop to now investing, and he's worked with like Warren Buffett, and he actually turned down a deal with Berkshire Hathaway or one of like the Buffett companies and all of that stuff. So it's a really good book.
I love that. I have never read it. I'm going to. And who has been the biggest influence in your life?
So for me, I would say my grandfather, because he was an entrepreneur and
Mhm.
he's the one, like, I remember as a kid, 6, 7 years old, we go and pick up the rent and he teach me like, this is how you keep accounts and this is how you keep books and this is how you keep money. And he's like, you never want to work for anyone. You always want to work for yourself. And, I ended up in the corporate thing and got out of it. But for me,
Mhm.
he was the one who like gave me that foundation and those lessons of like, this is what you need to do.
I love it. I love that so much. Are you glad that you do your own thing and you're not in corporate
Oh, yeah, I'd
anymore?
be the worst employee in the world these days. I could never go back into it.
I know once you've tasted and seen how good it is to have the freedom to do what you want, to make the decisions that you want to make, it would be very difficult to be put back in that box of following someone else's rules. I think
Yeah.
sometimes it's even hard for people to work for me because I'm like, I don't care how you do it. Like, I
Just as long
trust
as it's
you.
done, I don't
I'm not
care.
going to micromanage you. You don't have to be here at 9 a.m. You want to work in the middle of the night? I don't care. Get it done. And you have to have a certain amount of stick to itness and self motivation to be an entrepreneur or to work for an entrepreneur because that's flexible. Because I'm very flexible. I'm like, I just want my clients to be raving fans
Hmm.
and I want you to be happy here. I want our culture to be really good. And I want our clients to love what we're doing for them. That's
Yeah,
other than that, I'm like, I don't care how you get it done. Just get it done.
I'm with you.
How do people find you? How do they find your SEO company?
So Digital Phoenix SEO on every social or digitalphoenixseo.com. Super simple.
Okay. How do they find your YouTube and e-commerce?
So it's called Hedgehog Hollow. So hedgehog like the pretty animal and then HOLLOW. And so
Okay.
it's on YouTube under Hedgehog Hollow and then hedgehoghollowstore.com.
Okay. Why is it named Hedgehog?
To do with my granddad, we used to rescue hedgehogs. It's a
Ah,
whole
of
story, but
course
we
you
used to
did.
rescue them. So that's where it came from.
I love that. And then the air duct company.
Hmm.
I do have a couple clients in Sarasota. So how can they find you on
So
that?
it's cleanairductsusa.com or Clean Air
Okay.
Ducts USA on all the socials.
Okay, so it's very SEO friendly to find that. That is
Yes.
something I have heard recently is when I'm naming my podcast, I was advised don't make it cute, don't make the name cute, make it so that if someone is searching for SEO optimization, that's what I put in the title of this podcast. Don't make it cutesy about Sasha, right? What are
Yes,
your thoughts on that?
yes and no. Like there's lots of people who say it's called exact match domain. So it's like finding this thing. It's definitely helped us on the air duct side. I would
Okay,
say on other things, maybe not so much. But
okay,
yeah, that's kind of like one of those arguments that everyone has. Like, does it make a difference? So I would say yes, it makes a difference. Other people will say no, it
okay. Okay. Most of my company is based on relationships. So most of my content that gets shared, it's based on people's databases and sharing and organic. So I think there's a great combination. And I think you and I have a great relationship of I focus on relationships for
doesn't.
clients and you focus on their SEO and their ability to be found when someone's searching for them who doesn't know them.
Exactly.
So we're just the perfect mashup.
Yeah.
Great. Sasha, thank you so much. I
Thank you,
wish you
Kelly.
all the best. I'm so excited for what you have ahead of you and really proud of you for rising from the ashes. You've been through so much and I know we didn't really get into the details, but I just really thank you for being vulnerable and sharing.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks again for joining us today on the Driven podcast, where we are all about growing relationships in life and business. We hope today's story reminded you that behind every brand, every business, and every big idea, there's a real person choosing to show up, stay rooted, and lead with intention. Your story matters. So keep building, keep loving, and keep doing the hard, beautiful work of showing up in both life and business. We'll catch you next time with another real, inspiring conversation. And until then, never let love and kindness leave you. Always be a fountain, not a drain. And don't ever forget that you are the best.